So how does accent reduction work?
Well, the first step is to come in for an assessment, which is free of charge, where I can identify those parts of your speech which are bringing your intelligibility level down. That is to say, your ability to be understood by others. I'm listening specifically for specific sounds, features that are affecting a series of sounds. I'm listening for your intonation and your stress and rhythm patterns. After the assessment, I compile some targets for us to work on that we will work on throughout the program.
How do you qualify as a trainer?
Well, firstly, I myself love learning languages. I've been an avid language learner all my life. I grew up in a household with different languages and accents. My mom's a Danish speaker, my dad's from London. When I was in high school, I studied Spanish and German. I went on to major in Russian in university. I've lived abroad, where I've also taught English as a second language overseas in Denmark. I've lived in Austria as well. I have a certification in teaching English as a second language, but I think most importantly, I'm a speech-language pathologist. So I have a master's degree in speech science. I have a deep understanding of how speech sounds are produced. I had a particular interest in phonetics, which is the science of speech sound production.
What makes you different?
I blend the best of ESL methods with the analytical methods of speech science. The training will give you a solid foundation and give you the tools to continue improving your pronunciation even after the training is finished.
What is your method?
In the training, I have my clients replicate real speech. I just don't have them reading lists of words. For one thing, that's not real speech. That's not how we speak. We don't read lists of words unless we're reading a shopping list before we go shopping. I want my client to put that target into a real sentence that they spontaneously produce. I use a lot of visuals, both in the form of animations, a spectrograph, my big mouth model. I believe feedback, both audio and visual, are essential in monitoring your accuracy.
Does it work?
Absolutely. I can always get my clients to make the target sound or target feature of speech, and I can get them to bridge that gap between making the sound in exercises to making that sound in spontaneous running speech. I get them to produce spontaneous sentences using that target sound, and those sentences will be something that has to do with their real professional life, with their real home life. I make the exercises real. They're just not drill.
So what is an example of a sound feature to work on?
One feature I work on quite a bit is voiced consonants at the ends of words. So for example, the word dog has a voiced consonant versus the word dock, which has a voiceless consonant. A lot of my clients come from languages where they don't have that sound feature in their language and they have difficulty with it when they're speaking English. So first, I make sure that my clients can make that target sound at the beginning of a word or the middle of a word. Say go at the beginning of a word or foggy in the middle of a word. Then I attach a vowel after the word, after the g sound in dog, and make sure that my clients can do that, as in, for example, the dog is in the park, the dog in the park. And then I take that support of that vowel after the g away and eventually get them to make that g alone or with a consonant directly after that.
How many sessions are involved?
Typically 8 to 12 sessions. Sessions are once a week. They last an hour. Most of my clients have very busy schedules. If you have to miss a week, that's okay. I have my clients do daily exercises, 30 minutes a day, spread throughout the day. I try to accommodate my client's schedule as much as possible. I can work evenings and I work Saturdays.
How long does it take to change my pronunciation?
Well, pronunciation is not a light switch. It's not a matter of turning it off and then on. Some sound changes happen fairly quickly. Others take more time. What I hear in my clients is 30% accuracy, 40% accuracy, 60% accuracy, ultimately 100% accuracy. So some sounds within a couple weeks, others are more difficult to change. It can take up to 3 to 6 months.
Why does the training cost so much?
I realize the cost is high, but it's a question of value. I allow you to get out of the classroom and give you personalized, individual, one-on-one instruction that is catered to your needs.
Will my insurance pay for the cost?
Some insurance providers cover a portion of accent reduction training if it's provided by a speech-language pathologist like myself. They'll cover anywhere from 10 to 90% of the cost.
Is there any chance my employer would cover this cost?
A lot of my clients' employers cover some or all of the costs of the training. A lot of my clients will use their personal development funds for this training as well because they find it so critical to their professional development.
Cool. Do you give me a tip about how I could change something in my pronunciation?
One thing I identified that I hear in a lot of my clients is your stress pattern. It's sounding quite even. What I'd like you to do is to try to make stressed syllables longer and unstressed syllables shorter. Let's just take a simple word like today. In your speech, I'm hearing those two syllables in that word very even. I'm hearing today instead of today. When I say the first syllable, it's not only very short, but the vowel quality changes. It's no longer an oo as in two, it's an sound as in fun or money. Today, today, today. Give that a try.
Today.
Perfect.